Above and beyond the women, you'll see beautiful places. You'll see mountaintops, you'll see temples. Like, that's the other thing about AFA. It's not just meeting pretty girls and with good attitudes. It's seeing things that you would never see on your own. It's organizing trips to different temples, to different places, to mountaintops, to Bohol, to islands. So you'll see beautiful things. So that's a little bit about me and like kind of transactional. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to know that the woman wanted me for me. If you Google AFA in YouTube, I'm actually a lot of Sri Lankan, and I was actually really worked for my family business. And when that happened, he died. So who is Angud? A man that loves adventure, loves pushing boundaries, wanted to explore. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I'm 33 years old. Work for my family business. We do cardiac heart testing, and just a free spirit. Love traveling, love working out, love meeting great people, social guy. So that's a little bit about me, and kind of like I'm into working out and yoga, and got a good group of friends down in Toronto, Canada, but just blessed and grateful to be here. I've never been married. I was close to getting married, and I'm happy I didn't, because I got a chance to come down on the tour. So the decisive moment, the decisive like key pinnacle moment where I decided to use AFA to search for my long-term, like my ideal woman, would probably be two things. Number one was, I'm actually Indian and Sri Lankan, and I was actually really close to getting an arranged marriage, and my heart wasn't in it. So, in our culture, arranged marriage is big, and I found it very businessy, like very transactional. I didn't want to do that, because I wanted love, I wanted romance, I wanted passion, I wanted excitement. I wanted to know that the woman wanted me for me. So I reached out to AFA because the footage was really good. There were so many happy clients online. Like, if you Google AFA in YouTube, you see a lot of happy men with genuine, beautiful women with great attitudes. So that definitely made me feel good, because I didn't want something transactional. I wanted to avoid that. So that was number one. And number two was, I didn't want to make excuses. Like, I knew the Philippines was far, and it was a far trip. The money didn't matter, even though it was a bit pricey. It was a life experience. It was a life-altering experience. My uncle passed away suddenly, and when that happened, he died suddenly of a heart attack at 53. You realize that time is really important, and you should do the things that you want to do now. So that's what it was. I didn't wait. I packed my bags. I booked my ticket. So I originally found out through YouTube. I just Googled, actually YouTube and a browser search on Chrome. So I Googled, and it took me straight to the website. I read testimonials online. I read a lot of reports. Like, I'm the kind of guy that will always do my research. I'm a smart guy. I'm not going to walk into something blind. I did my homework on them. 27 years they were operational. Called the head office in Phoenix. They took my calls. They answered my questions. So I had a measure of confidence before I came, because it could be scary for men in the West to like make that decision to pay that money and make that trip. But the customer service was great. The YouTube videos were strong. The testimonials were real. And yeah, it was kind of how I found out about it. And then there were a lot of articles online too, on the internet, talking about successful romance tours in Medellin and Ukraine and the Philippines. I find them incredibly beautiful. I think they're down to earth, they're humble. And I felt that what really motivated me to do this tour was the prospect of meeting, a lot of quality women, and knowing that AFA is like screening them to a certain degree. It gives a foreigner like me, a guy from the West, a measure of confidence that you're not meeting some random person off the street. And I think that's important, because when you're coming to a foreign country, you want to know that the women are vetted, screened to some degree, and that AFA does know a little bit about their profiles and their background. I like that. It makes me feel secure. So that was the biggest thing, just my desire to meet a great Filipino woman. The culture is great. It's very similar to Indian culture. Before I came on the tour, there were two major reservations. Is this thing legit? The money was never a problem, because as much as people may crib about money, everybody can find the money to do something. It's whether or not it's worth it. So in terms of whether or not it was worth it, the only reservation I had was, is this thing legit? Like, is this a dream? Is this too good to be true, or is it legit? So that was my only fear. But what alleviated that for me was calling the head office and getting Brianna on the phone or getting Michelle Gomez on the phone, who are phenomenal with coordinating with clients. And that made me feel good because they answered my questions, whether it was like, what do the socials look like how many women do we meet, what's the protocol on table hopping. The customer service was phenomenal. So that's kind of what got me over the hump in terms of like, you know, getting from like a point where it's an idea to like, okay, I'm gonna do this thing, I'm booking my ticket, I'm paying for the tour, I'm gonna show up and do this thing. So that was my only reservation. Is this thing legit? And I think anybody that says it's the money, it's not the money. Because you know what, you can always make money. But the chance to do something, you know, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth it? And once I got past that point by getting feedback from customer service and like getting a visual on what this thing is gonna look like and getting the itinerary and seeing the footage online and reading the testimonials and reading the website documentaries on how many men have found success, I got over that hump. And like I said before, it just took me a month from the time that I actually found out about AFA to actually book this thing, pay for it in full, and make my way down here. Yes, so in terms of meeting somebody special, I believe I have. I'm taking my time and I'm getting to know the women equally because, you know, on the socials and, you know, for the men watching this who are gonna do the tour, you will meet a lot of women at the social, so I am taking my time. That being said, there are one or two women that I think could be very special. Obviously, I would choose one, but there are definitely possibilities there. So to any man sitting at home, and if you're on the fence and you're a man sitting at home considering it, you got to get off your ass and do it. It's part of my French. You got to get up and do this thing. It's like, no matter there's two things that can go on in your mind: the money and is it worth it? And I can tell you it's worth it, and I can tell you, as much as you want to crib about the money, it's not a big deal. Like, it's not a big deal. Anybody can find $3 or $4 grand US to come on this trip. So it's not the money, it's an excuse, but it's worth it. Get off your ass, do the tour. You're gonna meet beautiful girls. You're gonna meet girls that actually like you for you. They have wonderful attitudes. They're not entitled. They have pure hearts. They love with passion. And you'll meet, and above and beyond the women, you'll see beautiful places. You'll see mountaintops, you'll see temples. Like, that's the other thing about AFA. It's not just meeting pretty girls and with good attitudes. It's seeing things that you would never see on your own. It's organizing trips to different temples, to different places, to mountaintops, to Bohol, to islands. So you'll see beautiful things. You'll make lifelong friends with the guys on the tour. It doesn't matter how old you are. Like, you could be 33 or 55. Or anywhere in between, younger or older. You'll make amazing friends. You'll have lifelong relationships with people. You'll meet beautiful girls that you actually connect with, who like you for you. And you'll see beauty that many of us, and I'll speak for myself, haven't seen. So it's a no-brainer. You know, get off your ass and do it. Like, stop making excuses, do it.
Join men from all over the world as they take a trip and find their future brides. Interested? Learn more at
Filipino-bride.com.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Then click on the notice bell to get notified every time we add something new.